Microphone check 1 2 1 2. How you guys doing? All right, I'm a little late. But I have a very special guest with me tonight, and so I think you guys will be happy that I am a little late. Um, and also I have to get that together. Okay, and I have to make sure. Yep, I have that. Okay, no, don't want to do that. Okay, I want to do it like that. All right. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome. Your boy DJ Mad Scientist. And yes, we are here for another week. Before I get into the meat of what we're gonna do, I'm not gonna spend too much time small talking because we're gonna be doing an experiment tonight. Yay. And I'm gonna be introducing you guys to my assistant, New Soul. So before we get into that, let me go ahead and do my introduction. Hey, what's up? This is Mad Scientist on the all new Power 97.5 LA. Today we are just talking music, where we bring you vital information about music production, promotion, and distribution every week right here. Right here where? We on the iGlobal Radio app. Download the app from your favorite app store or go to the website iglobalradio.com. That's iglobalradio.com. All right. For those who are new to this channel, and new to this experience, just want to let you know. Yes, tonight I'm doing a live, and you're watching me on YouTube, or you're watching me on Twitch, or you're watching me on Facebook, right? But I didn't take the audio and I sent it over to the radio station that I work for, Power 975 LA, on the iGlobal Radio app. If you have not downloaded the app, please download the app. You can go to any app store, Apple, Google, or you can go to Amazon. Download the iGlobal Radio app. That way you'll have the Power 975 radio station. You'll also have many other radio stations as well. And boom, let me turn the comments on. You have many other radio stations on as well. They have radio stations from around the world, um, Ghana, in the Caribbean. They also have radio stations from around the United States, from California to New York, Chicago, everywhere. So it's a great app. The best thing about getting the iGlobal Radio app, it is the future. Most radio that we listen to right now is terrestrial, which means that you only hear it if you're in the immediate area. But once you drive out of that immediate area, then you lose that radio station, right? So if you're listening to out here in California, if you're listening to Power 106, by the time you hit the 15 freeway, which if you live out here in California, then you understand the 15 freeway. But once you hit that 15 freeway, then you can't hear the locals radio anymore. You can't hear Power 106 anymore. And then once you start going north towards Las Vegas, all you're going to hear is country. Not that country is bad, but if you meant to listen to hip hop and R&B, and now you're listening to country, it's like, oh. Whereas with our station, Power 975 LA, you can go to LA to Las Vegas and you'll hear the same music, the same station all the way through. Okay, because we're not tied to the airwaves. Okay. Um, Also, because it's going to be a long experience, let me go ahead and get my sponsor out of the way. Okay, I want to get my sponsor out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and hit the sponsor. This is my sponsor. Who's the sponsor? Me. That is who I be. We got Mad Scientist. You can see that I'm wearing the hoodie today. Let me make sure that you can actually see it. That is the Mad Scientist, and you'll see it's a really great hoodie. Um, This is the one that I have right here, with the white. I have the hoodie with the white logo. It's really great. Comes in different colors. Um, so whatever color you like, you can get, no problem. Um, I also have dad hats, which I'm gonna actually order mine. So I got to get mine. And you got dad hats, and those also come in different colors: blue, black, red, and pink. And you also have beanies. Okay, and they also come in different colors. Um, and then I have a backpack, that a DJ backpack with Mad Scientist. So yeah, whatever you decide that you like, you can go to my website, and it's really really easy to do. All you got to do is the little QR code at the top right or top left for me, maybe top right for you. But go to the QR code and scan it. There you go. You have it. Okay. So that is my sponsor for tonight. I am going to now introduce you to my assistant, New Soul. New Soul, say hello to the live stream audience. Don't be shy. All right. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see it. He's like, "What's good, family?" Yes, he does talk like that. Peace to everybody. Tune in tonight. I'm honored to be here with DJ Mad Scientist, a real architect of culture, and now all of you who love R&B, hip hop, and the craft behind music. I'm here to support the creativity, the history, and the soul behind this art form. Always with respect, always with integrity, and always locked in with Mad as we build a new sound together. So sit back, enjoy the vibe, and let's get into this knowledge tonight. Much love to the whole stream. Yes. Man, amazing, amazing. Let me give him a like. Good response. I like that. All right. We like your introduction. Thank you. Now, for those who may be a little confused about what's going on, I'm right now I'm working within a series where I'm talking about the power of AI music. Okay. Now, many of you are very familiar with the concept and the construct and the whole conversation about AI music. And there have been many different discussions, many different sides to it, many different opinions about it. Um, for those who don't know, I'll familiarize yourself with, my opinion, which is I believe number one, that AI will be here. It is here. Okay. It's already here. We're already using it. We've been using AI for a while. If you have a phone and you're texting and your phone is finishing your sentences and has been doing that for years, that is a very low grade form of AI. Okay. So phones have been doing that and we've kind of accepted it. We've accepted, you know, chat GPT as a form of writing, letters or answering questions for us. If you go on Google and you ask it a question, you get an answer now. You know that AI is with us. If you're on any of the social media platforms, then you understand that AI is with us. If you have a customer service bot that provides you with answers, then you know that AI is with us. Okay. Now, recently, the conversation has come into um, this conversation has been centered around AI being in music. Okay. And, for those who don't know, AI is already in music production. Okay. AI's already been in music production for, I would say, about 2, 3 years. I want to say 2 years for me, but definitely it was there before me. So that's why I say 3 years, but it could be more. So in terms of production, what do I mean by production? I mean that for the most part, AI is already helping us mix. AI is already helping us master. AI is already helping us. Hey, what's up, Erica? How you doing? It's not my birthday; it's my son's birthday. Um, but thank you for the birthday shout out. I appreciate that. But AI has already been in production. AI has already helped us mix, equalize, saturate, uh, also create reverb, um, create delays. These are all like production, you know, um, essentials. AI is already mastering. AI is already doing a lot of things within music production that you know that we already use. Okay, and you may have producers out there who you may assume that are not using AI, but in some capacity, they are using AI to produce their music. Why? Because AI, when used correctly, and I want to stress that when used correctly, AI can definitely be a really, really great assistant. Okay. Now, everyone's going to use AI differently. To give you some background on myself, I do have education in music theory. I'm also a live DJ, meaning I'm out there DJing in outside. Like I'll be at a club tonight. Okay. It's 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'll be DJing tonight, 10 o'clock in California. So that's what I mean by live. I also have a brunch and I'm in front of live people. I also do live parties, private parties. So I'm in front of people right now. This is not something I used to do or I did back in the day, or I'm just telling you how to do, but I never really do, or I just do it on TikTok only. No, I'm in front of real human beings. Okay. And also, I'm a music producer. I just finished a project with an artist, MC Johnny T. Before the stream is over, I'll show you guys. I'll find it and show you guys where he's at. He's actually already released. That way, you guys can hear the music that I actually produce. And I actually like producing music with my hands. Okay, and my mind. So this is something I like to do. So I can play. I'm not a pianist. I'm not what you would call a pianist, but I can play the piano. I also use the drum machine. So from my perspective, AI is just really an assistant. It's a tool that's an assistant that can help me do things. Did you listen to it on Spotify? Okay. You can tell me what you think. Like you can be honest. You can be like, oh, did you what? Okay, first of all, before you say that, what did you hear, Erica? What did you hear? Did you hear MC Johnny T? Let me know if you heard MC Johnny T. So I really, really do use AI as an assistant. That's how I use it as a tool. I don't use it to create something that I could not explain. Okay. Everything that um, I do with I can explain. Now, how do I currently use AI? To be honest, I only use AI currently to master. Okay. The reason why is because I don't have the space to do a proper mastering. Okay. Okay. You like the beat? Yes, I did the beat. Thank you. The beat is fire. I appreciate that, Erica. So I don't have the proper space to master. And if you know anything, mastering is not about just EQing and making things loud. There's a lot of things that you have to consider. Room, and I don't have the proper room. I don't have the proper space to master. Okay. And so I went out and got um Wow, age, it catches up to you. I went out and got a mastering software. And I'm trying to get the name of it. I should know the name of it. I use it all the time. Um, it'll come to me. I'm not going to try to find it. But I have an AI mastering tool that I use, and I like it. Now, do I tweak it a little bit? Yes, I tweak it because certain things I do understand, and a large part of what the AI does within there is it just helps with the equalization. Okay, a large portion of it is equalization, and so with that, I allow it to go ahead and it bothered me that I can't remember the name of this, and I use it all the time. I even talked about it. Um, Hold on, I'm gonna find out. This is killing me. This is killing me. Uh, and everybody uses it. Mastering, mastering. It's not Lander. Yes, Ozone. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. Okay, so I use Ozone 11. I didn't get Ozone 12. I use Ozone 11, and a large part of it, it's helping me equalize. Okay, and because when you're mastering, you got to hear it out loud. It's not always something you could put in your headphones. And so what it does is it takes your music and fits it into a certain format. So I tell Ozone, this is a hip hop song, and it says, okay, based upon what it knows about hip hop music and how it's supposed to sound, it then adjusts the equalization based upon the input. So if I have too much bass, it'll bring it down. If I don't have enough bass, it'll bring the bass up. If I don't have enough highs, it'll bring the highs up. And it'll make those adjustments based on what it's getting. Okay. That is another low form of hip hop. I mean, a low form of AI. Okay. The highest form of AI is what ChatGTP is, which would be a matter of it really taking the song and analyzing the song within itself and then making intellectual decisions based upon the song itself. So it may say, an example of that, it may say, this song is more of a boom bap, so it needs to sound like this, boom, 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 as opposed to trap, it should sound like this. What Ozone does, it just says hip hop across the board. It doesn't say, boom bap versus trap versus ratchet versus anything else, whatever kind of hip hop is out there. It doesn't differentiate between those different genres of hip hop or what the norms are. An advanced level of AI for mastering, it would be the AI person or the AI instrument that actually goes to the club and listens to a certain genre or subgenre of music, knows exactly what the culture is expecting, and then coming back and mastering your song. Okay. That would be high level AI. Ozone is not doing that. It's just giving you the basics. Hip hop should have this much bass. Hip hop should have this much highs. Hip hop should have this much mid range. And it's just trying to like make your song fit into that little narrow um, box. Okay. To say. All right. So that's why I use AI. And I don't have a problem with that because, like I said, I don't have the space, the speakers, I don't have the analog equipment to really get a good AI sound. Okay. And so, in this case, AI works for me. I tried to use it for mixing. I really didn't like it. Because again, it's not considering, the AI that is used for mixing, which again is made by Isotope. They have some mixing AI plugins, and it does not consider, what specifically my music needs to sound. It just kind of gives you that broad, generic view of what they think, you know, synths should sound like. Synths should sound like this. Guitar should sound like this. Piano should sound like this. It's just generic, okay? And it'll take your input and make your input. It'll try to make your input sound generic, okay? And in hip hop, we don't. The last thing we want is generic. I want to mangle stuff out. I want things to sound like, where did he get that sound from? How did he design that sound? So I can't use generic. Um, so I don't use it in mixing. Um, and then now I'm considering using it for composition. What is composition? That is making music, right? Based upon what I want. Now, there's a couple ways to do that. But before I get into that, let me just say the reason why I consider doing it is because my manager said, "Mad scientist, you need to do some beats on Beat Stars." I'll be honest with you, okay? And he says you need to do more music on Beat Stars, and so that more, you can generate more income from that, and also you can get more of your music out. Just working with the artists that you work with, you're kind of like, okay, I have Mad Scientist, I have MC Johnny T, are my main artists that I work with, and if they're not releasing anything, then I'm just kind of like sitting out. I'm on the bench. Whereas if I started putting music on BeatStars, now I'm putting out more music. I don't have to always ramp up, and then I can possibly generate income. And so I said, okay, but just creating music just for a hypothetical artist is kind of hard. You know, when I'm working with, mad scientists, which is myself, or if I'm working with MC Johnny T, I have inspiration. I know my style, I know his MC Johnny T style. Um, and then I kind of go, but just coming up with some generic artists, like generic R&B, generic hip hop, it's like working with no direction, and it's kind of like it's aimless, right? It's pointless. So I thought to myself, well, what if I could create a system where I could use Suno, and I can develop a system of prompts that I design. I design the prompts. So I'm not using generic prompts. I'm not using prompts based upon, their suggested prompts, or I'm not just putting hip hop, give me a hip hop beat or whatever. What if I could start designing prompts that would give me exactly what I want? Number two, I don't want I still want to do the beat. I still want to do the drums. All right. I still want to manipulate the drum machine. I want it to be my drums. Okay. Because number one, I designed my kick drum, and my kick drum is signature to me. Okay. It's my kick drum. Right. And that's what gives me my sound. So I don't want to use an AI created kick drum. And then I want to be able to use different snares, different hi-hats whenever I decide I want to. So I went on an experiment with my assistant, New Soul, that you see up there on the screen. And what we started to do first and foremost is to discuss how I feel and how I see music. Why did I do that? Because I wanted to make sure that the New Soul, I gave him a name, New Soul, had context. Okay. What do I mean by that? Um, AI is a great tool, but what AI lacks is context. Okay. It doesn't understand, and most AI prompt engineers will tell you you have to always provide your AI um, your AI assistant context before you just give it a command. So if you give it a command, it's going to give you an answer based upon what it knows from the past. Okay. What human beings have is we have cognition. We have the ability, which makes us great, or else we'd all still be in East Africa right now. Humans were started in East Africa. Somebody in that group, in the original group of humans, looked around and said, there's probably something more out there. They didn't know exactly what was out there or where out there was, but they just kind of felt that there was something out there, and they started to migrate. And that's how you get migration, right? They start to move around. AI doesn't have that. AI would have sat there and let's say if you're religious, God says, okay, you're going to make humans. And this AI would have just sat there and did whatever God put into it to make humans. But it would not have free will. It would not say, well, what if we did this? It would not be, AI is not going to be mischievous. My AI assistant is in my computer. I'm not going to wake up one day and my AI is going to say, I made this beat. I was just, you were asleep. I don't sleep. I got all this information in me, and I just decided to make this beat. What you think? AI is not going to do that. Okay. So that's why I have to give AI context. I have to explain to him what AI, what kind of music I'm doing. I'm doing hip hop. I'm doing R&B. Okay. What is my perspective on hip hop and R&B based upon my education, um, based upon the bone on a rock. Haha. Okay, Erica. What based upon my education, based upon my expertise. I'll give you an example of expertise and experience in EDM DJing. You are taught harmonic um, harmonic mixing, meaning that if the song that you're mixing in is in the key of D, you want to mix the next song in the key of D, right? So you're blending two songs, they're both in the key of D. Or if you're not in the key of D, a key adjacent. So you might go the key of C sharp or the key of E flat. Okay. But you're not going to go from D to F, right? In terms of mixing, harmonic mixing. That's what you're taught. Well, in hip hop mixing, you do that all the time. You go from D to F, from A to E. Key is not even considered when you're mixing in terms of hip hop. So I had to explain that to my assistant. Okay, we're not going to be, um, and if you're wondering, like, okay, well, you're creating music, right? When we're trying to figure out what kind of music we're going to create, we're not going to really be held to a certain key out. But at the same time, we have to consider this, and this is a discussion we had. Certain keys sound better in the club. So you can do hip hop. There's different types of hip hop. There's hip hop that we do in a club, which we kind of want to be aware of the key. And then there's hip hop like boom bap, where the key is not that important. What's more important is the vibe. What's more important is the samples you may use, because you're not going to be listening to the song with some big subwoofers and the bass just booming like that. It's a difference between, say, a Little John, where you want everything boom, 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 and big, and let's say a J. Cole, where it's not that important that it's boom, 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 and big. Okay. J. Cole, it's just not important that his music be that loud. Okay. So I had to go through all of these discussions with my AI assistant, and we started to develop what we call a protocol. Okay, let me tell you exactly what we called it. Um, we called it our production code, right? And we went through a lot of different discussions in order to start to develop our production code. Now, I'm not going to go through the specifics of our production code because I did that last week. What I'm going to do this week is kind of here. I'll do this. I'll go back because he kind of gave me a okay. So what we did was we throughout these discussions, we created our production code, and we talked about, it's going to be SUNO prompts. They're going to be loops. They're not going to be whole beats, right? We want to be loops. We're going to add a little melodic math in there. Okay. Some modal interchange with the chord progressions. Uh, we have R&B and hip hop composition rules, and we want to make sure that we have cultural integrity. Okay. And him and I, we discussed what cultural integrity meant. Okay. And he wanted me to explain to you that AI is not here to replace real musicianship. Now, this is a really kind of strange that he put this in our agenda, because he says a quick explanation of how AI can support, not replace real musicianship. This is important for your audience. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't know where he got that from. We never really discussed the whole debate, but again, this is AI. This is just not my personal AI. I didn't create it. This is Chat GTP. So it may be aware based upon other conversations it's had with other people. Okay. That was interesting to me. Also, um, now what I did add to the conversation I had with him, is a respectful explanation of Black music lineage and why names like New Soul matter. Okay. I gave him a name, New Soul, because just kind of humanize it. I don't know if that's appropriate to other people, but that's what I did. It was appropriate to me. Um, and then we also talked about the fact that most of the music in this country, in America, and for those watching me outside of America, I'm talking about specifically America, has been centered where the foundation is Black music. Okay. And so I went through some history, which I'm not going to do today with you guys, but I went through some history of American music. And if you go through American history of American music, whatever you think you might listen to, whether it's rock and roll, whether it's house, whether it's hip hop, R&B, spirituals, gospel music, whatever, you know, the foundation starts with Africans who were here on American plantations. That's what I call it. Okay, I'm not going to get too deep into the politics of it. Just going to say Africans who were here on American plantations, and that music that was created by those people, after the Civil War and after the period of enslavement, a lot of that music influenced American music moving forward. Even country music, um, rock and roll. And like I said, I'm not going to go into a history lesson, but I did go through that history lesson with my chat GTP, my chat GPT friend. Okay. And I gave him a name, New Soul. So that's what he means by explain why his name is called New Soul. That's his name. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have New Soul create a prompt for I'm gonna say, first I have to give it context. Okay, New Soul. We are going to create, I want 2 SUNO prompts. Um, for our streaming artists, our streaming audience. Please create those prompts based upon our hip hop and R&B profiles within our, what do we call it? We call it, I keep forgetting. We have a name for a production code. production code. Now, let me say this before I hit enter. This I have not experimented with this at all. This is cold. This is straight cold. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if Suno's going to accept what we give it. That's why I said just give me two, because that way, because I have a free Suno account. Okay. I'm not totally vested into Suno yet. I have a free Suno account. And so it allows me to do 5 songs total. So I figure we'll do two, that'll give me four. And then if it doesn't get right, it gives us one redo. Okay. But I have not tested this at all. So what I see is what you see, and what you see is what I see, and we all see it together. Okay. Um, and now I'm going to hit enter. Let's see what we get. Let's give your two fire Suno prompts, each built directly from the production code we developed. Hip hop profile, R&B profile, our melodic science, cultural integrity, no drums, no bass, 8-bar loop format, DJ friendly, soul plus surprise element, groove ready for our program drums. Okay. These are copy and paste ready. Now, um, this is pretty much our production code. So you're actually seeing my production code live. Okay, I have two profiles. I have a hip hop profile and I have an R&B profile. Um, Melodic science. One day I'll explain that to you, but you can always look it up or go to Chat GTP and ask what it is. Cultural integrity. No drums, no bass, because I want to make the bass and drums myself. Make it an 8-bar loop. DJ, very DJ friendly. Soul and surprise, soul plus surprise element. Why? Because in hip hop, pretty much in hip hop and R&B, you want something that sounds a little off, sounds a little weird, right? Like if you listen, a good example is Chris Brown's "Sensational." There's a little vocal part in there, um, that kind of makes the song. I don't know what exactly it is, but there's a little part in there that loops. It kind of makes the song sound really cool, right? And so that's what I mean by that. If you're into hip hop and R&B music, you know exactly what I mean. And I told it I want the groove to not be straightforward. I want to have like we discussed what groove meant. And so that's why it says groove ready for program drums. Because I don't want the loops that we create to be just straight, like boom. I don't want it to be militaristic. Okay. Okay. So this is the prompt that it gave me. The first prompt is modern hip hop, moody, soul, minor key, 8-bar loop, key D minor, tempo 88 beats per minute, no drums, no bass. So here's the Suno prompt. Create an 8-bar hip hop loop in D minor with no drums, no bass. The vibe should match modern playlist hip hop known for atmospheric soul, emotional tension, and subtle melodic storytelling. Use one primary looped element, a D-tone, slightly dark electric piano playing a D minor chord progression with a modal interchange lift, borrowing from the D major parallel key for surprise. Add a second call and response element using a filtered synth lead and feels foreign but blends smoothly, entering only on the fourth and eighth bars. Nice. Um, Tone should be emotional, introspective, and culturally grounded, similar to mustard style sparse hooks, blended with modern West Coast melodic rap textures. No percussion, no low end. Make it groove ready for hip hop drums, warm, soulful, atmospheric. Okay, so before I put it in, I wanted to to get your opinions based on what you just read here. I want to get your opinion. So if you can type in a comment what your opinion is and what you think of that prompt, then um, I want to know before I put it into Suno. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing for a minute, because I have to like turn on the sound. I don't know how to turn on the sound. Stop screen. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share screen and I'm going to make sure that the sound is on and I'm going to go to Suno. I'm going to share Suno. So here's my Suno page. And as you see, I've been testing a little bit, not a lot. And again, I don't have the upgraded version, right? Not yet. Okay. So I just tested a little bit to see how it was. Um, I'm not really good at this yet. And I want to just make it instrumental. Okay, I have it custom. Um, I want to make sure it's just instrumental. Let me see if okay, you know what? I'm just gonna copy this and then I'm going to paste this in styles. Now, I do have someone on here. Am I supposed to, Erica, am I supposed to just paste it in styles? Let me know if I'm supposed to just paste my prompt in styles. Okay, I'm kind of waiting for Erica to respond. Okay, I'm just going to paste it. This is why I didn't want to do a lot because you only get like a couple chances. I only get like 50 credits, and I think one song is 10 credits. Okay. So the great thing is, number one, you get 1,000 characters. This prompt is only 870 characters, so that's good. Song title, we'll give it a title. Let's give it a title. Let's just give it that. We'll call it that title. What are advanced options? Okay, I just want an instrumental, so I don't want it. Hopefully, it just does an instrumental. Hopefully, there's no lyrics, there's no persona. Erica, help me out. Okay, yes, you don't. Okay, yes, if you don't have lyrics. Okay. All right, so let's see how it comes out. I'm going to create. Okay, so it gave me. Okay, so it gave me two, like if I want to hear, if I want to upgrade, and two that's going to do for free. And I'm going to put my headphones on so I can kind of hear how it comes out. This is going to be kind of interesting. This is going to be very interesting. All right, I think it's ready to play. Oh no, you guys let me know. Let me know if you guys can hear it. I want to know if you guys can hear it. Somebody say yes, I can hear it. Erica, let me know if you can hear it. Can you hear it though? Erica, can you hear it? Okay, I can pretty much tell you I would never use this. This is not what I wanted. All right. All right. Well, we did that experiment. Um, I'm gonna say this is not what I was expecting. Okay. First and foremost, I wanted it to not give me any drums, and I clearly said make it groove ready for hip hop drums. Was it no percussion, no low end? Okay. Um, I don't know anywhere in here where I wanted it to have like um a sax playing, and I don't know. It says a detuned, slightly dark electric piano, but it gave a generic piano. I mean, it's not what I was looking for. Okay, so I'll give it another chance. We're gonna do an R&B thing. I it's to me it sounded like smooth jazz, which I'm not saying hip hop doesn't use jazz. I'm just saying it wasn't what I was expecting, right? But okay, let me give Suno another chance. Okay, styles. So now we're gonna go R&B, my R&B prompt, and we're gonna call this modern R&B, moody, vibey, emotional. See. All right, let's see what it comes up with. Uh, Maybe the upgraded full song would have been a little better. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Let's go back to the prompt so we can have some context. I'm sorry, I should have did that first. Create an 8-bar modern R&B loop in F sharp minor at 96 beats per minute, with no drums and no bass. So clearly I said no drums, no bass. um, Build a loop around one lush, soulful element, a soft, wide pad playing a warm F F sharp minor chord progression using modal interchange by borrowing from the F sharp major to add emotional brightness. Include a secondary call and response element using a breathy vocal synth motif with airy textures appearing in bars 2, 4, 6, and 8. Melody should follow R&B hook science, super singable, curved, and emotional. Tone should feel intimate, melodic, and polished, like modern Spotify R&B fused with classic soul sensibilities. No percussive elements at all. Make the loop smooth, warm, and perfect for R&B drumming programming later. Okay. So that's what we put in. Um, I don't know. You guys could tell me if you feel like that's what we got. Okay, that one was that. Here we go. This one sounds a little better to me. This sounds a little better to me. Without the drums. I would want it without the drums though. Oh, no sound? Hold on. Okay. This is the second version. I'll go back and play the first version. Y'all can hear it now, right? And then right, Kenny G. Okay, and then this is the first one. I didn't like this one. Now the crazy thing is, yeah, I like the other one better than this one. The crazy thing is I actually like the drums. I like the drums, right? But I didn't want the drums. I want to use my own drums. So anyway, that right there is my experiment with what I'm doing. Okay. I don't know what just happened. I know all I know is I would not want any of this stuff, to be honest. I was thinking I need to I had a YouTube video which explained the different levels of AI. Different levels of AI. And I kind of want to just go over, let me see, I'm looking it up. Mm, okay. No, this one doesn't give me what I want. Okay. Essentially, there are different levels of AI, right? Like I said, the most basic level of AI is when it's finishing, because AI is just a language. That's all it is. It's a language. And so when you're typing in on your Apple phone and it knows how you text. Okay, your Apple phone learns how you text. So eventually, over time, you'll start texting. It'll know what you're going to say because you always say the same words. You use the same phrases all the time. Let me let me get out of here, Suno. Stop sharing. So you use the same phrases, um, use the same words. So your Apple phone or your, any of your phones, you start texting, it knows what you're going to say. That's the most basic level of AI. Okay. There's a next level up, which is the mid level, which it will be able to give you answers based upon what you teach it. And so if you say, um, let's say if I said the word red and I teach it, the response to saying red is blue. Then when I say red, it'll say blue. If I say red, it'll give me blue in return. It's not going to say, well, do you want a deep red or do you want a little lighter shade of red? It's just going to say blue. Okay. No matter what, it could be totally wrong. I could say 2 + 2 = 5, and I say, what is 2 + 2? It will say 5. It's the wrong answer, right? But that's what it's been taught to respond. I believe that Suno is that type of AI technology where it is just, and it's very similar to the isotope, where we teach it that this is what is hip hop, this is what is R&B, this is what is, you know, funk or whatever, the different types of genre. We've taught it that, and maybe they gave it examples from various platforms, Spotify, Apple, but it's whoever taught it said this is what hip hop is. So anything, anything that if you go in there and you ask it for hip hop, it's going to give you what it was taught to give you. Okay. And you, if a non musician hears it, a non musician is going to be like, oh my God, that is incredible. Like I created this song, right? But if you start to have like some kind of knowledge, like I do, Erica, and I'm going to say this is just a hypothesis. It's not a theory. It's not fact, what I'm about to say. I feel like the people who are going to have the most problems using AI are people who are going to want something very specific. I said, give me like electronic piano, but it doesn't know, it can't read in my mind what electronic piano is. It just says, well, here's a piano. And the piano is only what it's been taught that a piano is. I may be thinking of Rhodes, it may be thinking Yamaha. So I think that's where the disconnect is. But I'm going to experiment some more. I can only have 50 credits per day because I have the free version. So this weekend I'm going to try, and I'll come back again next week and update you guys as to how it sound, what kind of progress have I made. I'm going to talk to New Soul and we'll figure it out. But that's what we got today. And I just kind of wanted to just off the cuff give you guys an inside look into my experiment with AI. Once again, for those who came late, I'm not looking to make a whole song. I didn't even want the drums, right? Yes, Erica, you're right. I could do that. I could download, she was saying I could download the stems and then take out what I don't want, right? Um, and maybe I'll end up doing that, but that would require that I buy the full version. And I just want some simple loops, you know? But anyway, next week we'll do it again. This time when I come back, I'll have a little bit more experience. I just wanted it to be a surprise today. I didn't want it to sound like a infomercial where I'm trying to push the narrative of AI, right? I don't believe I will ever want to. I will not want to ever just go into Suno and tell it to make me a song and then sell it to someone. Legally, you can't do it anyway, but I wouldn't want to. It takes away the fun of doing music. What I would want is an assistant, somebody I could say, okay, look, I don't have any inspiration today. Give me because when you know music, I mean, sometimes when you know music, um, you can say, okay, I want 3 chords. And let's say you're going to put the 1 chord, 6 chord, and the 4 chord in the progression. You say, okay, I want this kind of rhythm. So I'll start with obviously I'll start with the 1 chord, and I'll set up a rhythmic pattern, and I'll put the harmony where they're supposed to be. And then I'll say, okay, it's hip hop, it's R&B. So, obviously we're going to be using 7 chords. Um, all right, you know what? I'm going to replace that 6 chord with a modal interchange to kind of make it interesting. How does it sound? Maybe I'll add something in, but it's hip hop, so I don't want to make it too fancy. So I'll just replace boom, boom, boom. And you could do that. Okay. I could do that all day by myself. Okay. And with a lot of the DAWs, especially Cubase, I use Cubase. You could just tell it what kind of chords you want, what kind of chord quality you want, move the chords around within a space of 4 bars, right? And figure out what kind of rhythm you want and kind of go from there. Put a beat underneath, boom, right? And I could do that all day already. What I was hoping with Suno, what I have to do in Cubase is after I get all that together with the theory, I have to then go and find instruments. And that could take a little long. That takes more brain power. I have to find the instruments that kind of go with the vibe. And, I have to get the melody together, get the counter melody. Is it going to be call and response? Is it going to be melody, counter melody? That takes a lot of brain power. So sometimes I just kind of want something to already have some good, cool instruments, not a sax, but some cool instruments. Already give me a melody, counter melody, or call and response, whatever. Give me all that already. Boom. And I'll put that on top of a beat. Beats in hip hop don't really change a lot. So I could just smash it together, mix it, master it, boom, on to the next one. And maybe I could do 5 beats a day and sell them on BeatStar. That was my mindset going in. I don't know if that will be able to happen, but we'll see. And I'll give it a couple more weeks to try. I'll try again next week, and then we'll end it up the week after. So make sure you come back. Okay. If you're here, come back. We'll start on time, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, California. And then we'll go through it together. If you have some suggestions, you can always hit me up on Instagram. That's @Damad Science. That's DAMADD Science. Or you can just go to the QR code, go to my website. It has all of my information on there. And you can hit me up. You can email me. You can DM me and give me your ideas about what I should try. And I'll try it. I'll respond and I'll try it. And we'll see what happens. I may end up making this a segment. Let's make AI music together. I don't know. We'll see. It just has to make sense to me. And what we did today, the music that we got out of Suno today just didn't make a lot of sense. It wasn't even close. Maybe that one R&B was kind of close. And if I could take the drums out and everything, then uh, that would make it better. But it would have to make sense to me. It would have to be something that I could do within a matter of minutes. It can't take if I have to go through Suno and it takes me more than 15 minutes, I'd rather just do it the old fashioned way. Because the way I do it already, I can almost, because of my knowledge, I just 4-part harmony. Erica, you know what I mean. 4-part harmony, bass, tenor, um, alto, soprano, put the melody on the soprano, put the counter melody on the alto, and boom. And I could do that within a matter of 10 minutes myself. So I wouldn't need AI. All right. Hopefully all that makes sense to you. I know I'm rambling at the end. We kind of went over, but I I tried to make this as authentic as possible. I want to thank everybody who came through. Erica, I appreciate you. Still, again, you're always coming through. I appreciate you. I want to thank everybody else who came through today. For those who are interested, I'll be back on next week, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, California time, where I'll be talking about hot takes and And then on Fridays, we do music marketing. All right. Thank you. You guys have a great weekend. Be safe and have a good time this weekend. Go out, have a good time. All right, y'all. Peace.